Good morning, everyone. Welcome on into North Dakota today. Our first guest enjoys bringing joy through flowers, one bloom at a time. We have Nicole of Olson Blooms from Holly, Minnesota, joining us in studio to talk all about her passion this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, it's always a great time. Spring is around the corner, I think. But we want to talk about flowers and getting those bright bouquets and blooms to really brighten our outlook on life, right?
Absolutely. It brings so much, and it's so fun to see the joy that it brings to people.
Okay, so let's talk about your background with gardening, flowers, farming, the whole thing, and then Olson Blooms.
Absolutely. So I actually used to teach for 5 years here in West Fargo, and then my family farms in Holly, Minnesota. So my dad got sick, and I kind of went back and helped on the family farm and enjoyed it. But I ended up having a daughter, and it got to be a lot.
Right.
So I do help still with that on the side a little bit.
Okay.
But I started my own business of Olson Blooms. I love being able to grow flowers and produce flowers here in our climate, which can be interesting at times.
Yeah.
And I love being able to serve our local community and bring flowers and joy to everyone.
Amen, sister. We couldn't agree more. So how is this different from a traditional florist? What sets Olson Blooms apart?
Yeah, so, you know, florists are able to get flowers from anywhere and any type at any time. And so for me, I'm growing and I'm limited to what nature brings us, and we know that Mother Nature here can always throw us some curveballs. So I always have to tell people, like, you know, we have somewhat of a set time when like our subscriptions start, but it can change depending on what Mother Nature wants to hand us. But I also love that I can show which flowers and showcase which ones kind of bloom at certain times throughout the summer and the spring as well too. So we're just maybe a little bit more limited in that, but I find that there's so many flowers that don't ship well, don't show the smell like ours do, which is fantastic.
Yeah, that's always good to know. So does that change what you plant each year? How do you kind of gauge that?
Yes, so I track and plan with all those things as much as I can. And I've also kind of decided, like, there's certain ones that grow super well and some that don't. So every year I feel like it changes a little bit, where I hone in what I enjoy, what I like, but also what my customers enjoy and like as well, and what does well in our environment. But of course, as you know, the weather changes all the time, and every year is very different. So I try to do enough differences that can handle whatever the season's gonna throw at us.
Right,
so.
yeah, that's the joke we keep making. I think spring is around the corner, maybe.
Right,
that groundhog might have been fibbing a little bit, but it'll be here eventually.
Exactly.
So for those interested, you offer something very unique, a subscription service.
Yes, exactly.
Explain what that is.
So I have a spring and a summer. In the spring, I have, it's like a 5-week subscription, and they get to enjoy the different blooms that are blooming at different times for the week. So I have like a daffodil bouquet that comes out, a couple tulip ones, an iris, and a peony. So that's kind of a fun way to start spring. And then summer, it's an 8-week subscription, and people can either get it delivered or pick up in Holly. And they can do a bi-weekly or weekly. So it's 8 weeks of flowers that they can have, and some people use it as gifts, and some people use it as you know, just something to light themselves up. So
I love that, and I love that you say that's such a key component of what you're doing. You want to bring joy, you want to inspire, and just beauty in nature. I just love the whole vibe.
Why, thank you.
Yes, of course, and it's nice to see this video too, to really showcase what it looks like in your greenhouses and in your growing operation, and how it all kind of comes together.
Yeah.
And then for those of you who want to get your hands dirty yourselves and work on your green thumbs, you also offer workshops.
Yeah, so I just actually had a kind of a cut flower workshop where I taught people, you know, how to have their own garden. I also in the summer have 2 workshops where people can come and use our flowers and I'll kind of teach them how to arrange them, and they can just have some fun. It's a night with the girls. You hang out and you just get to play with flowers. And then I'm also hoping to start this winter a wreath workshop as well, where people can learn how to make their wreaths.
Perfect. Yeah, is that something people are wanting? Some wreath decor?
Yes, exactly. And just again, like, sometimes when you're in the holiday season, I feel like as moms we're always focusing on everybody else and taking care of everybody else. Can we just have a night, you know, like for ourselves to make something, and then you be able to hang something pretty while people and your guests are coming by?
Yeah, that's a great point for those of you listening. So how do we get signed up? How do we get workshops? How do we subscribe? How do we do everything?
Yeah, so I have a website, olsonblooms.com. People can kind of find all that I have there. The times kind of depend on when the flowers open up. So sometimes you have to follow those a little bit, but that's why I have a newsletter. And I send out in that newsletter when things open up, when things are ready, when the flowers are ready. But you can actually order subscriptions right now, and I only have a few left. So if you're interested, feel free. And there are people, you know, from Holly, but also people from the Fargo-Moorhead area that drive out to grab them as well.
Right, yeah, this is a big deal. We could tell from the photos and videos. Well, they are so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah,
yes,
of course.
I really enjoy it, yeah.
Well, I just wanted to ask you before we let you go, what is it about the joy and like brightening up other people's lives with these blooms? Why is that so important to you?
Well, so the first time I was growing flowers, I gave it to somebody, their smile, it lit me up. But the thing that really did it is when my daughter was helping me, and she had a friend that lost her dog, and she was so sad about it and said, "Mom, can we bring her flowers?" And so I helped her, we made one and we brought it over to her friend, and just being able to teach that and see that was unbelievable. So kind of do it with my 2 girls at home too. So
okay, a beautiful message. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Olson Blooms, everybody. All right, stick around. We have plenty more to brighten up your morning right here in North Dakota Today.